Did you watch the hearings today, House Judiciary Committee, with the criminal so-called Attorney General of the United States sitting there as a witness, lying, dodging, weaving, refusing to do what an Attorney General of the United States is supposed to do? The highest law enforcement official in the United States, and there he sat, this criminal enabler for the fascist orange ape. It was a sad thing to see, I swear to God. You know, the Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Government, CREW, has been calling several times for the impeachment inquiry of Bill Barr. And they base it on Article 1 of the U.S. Constitution that gives the House the power to impeach a federal official. You know the drill, for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors, right? And the Senate is invested with the power to try all impeachments and convict if it deems the individual's removal from office is both merited and wise. Now, think about that for just a second, if you dare. Whether or not an individual, a federal office holder's conduct merits removal, his or her conduct is such that it merits removal of that person, if it is considered that what that person has done is so in violation of the U.S. Constitution that they have to go. Think of Trump. Think of Barr. Think of this whole raft of gangsters. Jesus, God, aren't you tired of hearing me talk about this? Aren't I tired of not tired, but, frustrated, angry, enraged? But there's Barr. There's Barr. Engaging in conduct that, to quote somebody, is seriously incompatible with our system of constitutional government. So, CREW recommends an inquiry that would consider 4 different areas where it concerns this dishonest, lying, thuggish, toad frog, William Barr. That's what we call him in the South, a toad frog. Keep waiting for his tongue to unfurl, and he zaps a fly halfway across the hearing room and then gobbles it down. The inquiry should consider whether Barr corruptly subverted the special counsel investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 election and the special counsel investigation into Trump for obstruction of justice. That's one that CREW recommends. 2, that Barr interfered with the lawful function of the Department of Justice by overturning the actions of career prosecutors in the cases of Roger Stone and Michael Flynn, and by firing United States Attorney Jeffrey Berman. That's 2. Number 3, whether or not Barr obstructed lawful investigations conducted by the U.S. House of Representatives, which he did. Remember all the subpoenas that were ignored, that the House kept issuing, and they were ignored? Listen, let me ask you something, Truth Seeker. What happens in your town, your city, wherever you live? Let's supposing you're subpoenaed by a court to appear as a witness, which is what the House was trying to get people to come in and do in the impeachment inquiry of the Orange Ape, to sit as witnesses and answer questions. So you're subpoenaed to appear at a trial in your town, Youngstown, Toledo, L.A., New York, Bowling Green, pick a place. And when you get the notice that you are being subpoenaed, you call up the county district attorney and you say, listen, I'm not going to show up. What? No, I'm not coming in. You have to. No, I'm not. How long do you think it would take for a marshal, a county marshal to show up at your front door with an arrest warrant to haul your ass into court to do what the subpoena said you must do. But in Trump world, that's just laughable. That's just laughable. Well, I got a subpoena, another one. Oh, more toilet paper. Oh, yay. That's 3. Number 4, that Barr abused and exceeded the powers of the Attorney General in violating the First and Fourth Amendment rights of American citizens. What do we do with this? The demonstrations continue, and I hope they continue to continue. Just not enough people. We need 30, 40 million people in the streets every day. Federal law enforcement, ICE, Department of Homeland Security, Border Patrol. I mean, this is about as close as we can get to fascism without troops rumbling into the streets. I mean, military. And it's coming. I don't know if the military is going to go along with it. I have my doubts, but Trump's going to try it. This is just rehearsal. What are you going to do when that happens? Are you going to stay home? Are you going to take to the streets? I know where I will be. And even though I might try to deny her permission, I know where my 16-year-old daughter will be too. She'll probably be in front of me because I can't keep up with her. But I will be out there every day. And my sense, my feeling, my emotion, that's all this is, would say, I don't show up with just a mask and some Vaseline to smear over my face and a helmet on. I show up with that and a goddamn club as big as my leg. Yeah. And the club will be used with the first law enforcement so-called thug who takes a whack at me with a baton or pepper sprays my face, because I won't be there to commit violence. I won't be there to smash windows. I won't be there to set fire to vehicles. I will be there to say, no, goddammit, not in my country. You're not going to do it. So if I am attacked by law enforcement, my feelings, my emotion, I was going to say this may come from my Irish Italian, but no, it doesn't. It comes from my respect for the Constitution and the fury that I feel after watching the Orange Ape for almost 4 years now slowly, inexorably destroy every institution in the United States that this bum can get his clutches on. And somebody may shoot me in the head, and that's the end of it. But God help the first one who hits me with a baton or sprays me in the face with pepper spray. Now, that's my feeling. What will I really do? Well, I don't have a club as big as my leg. So I will show up the same way. I will try to show up the same way as John Lewis did, as Dr. King did, as Gandhi did, as Jesus of Nazareth did. Making the point, being passively aggressive, for the first time having respect for that term, passive aggression. I never thought, I honestly didn't think I would live this long to see this happen in this country. I don't mean live this long, but I mean live long enough to see this happening in this country. This is the kind of shit I've been talking about for 35 years, maybe closer to 40, ever since I've been in media. Ever since I first started writing for a weekly paper here in Atlanta, or the AJC when I wrote for them, or working at CNN, or getting into talk radio, or podcasting, or Air America, or whatever it was. I talked a lot about this. Oh my God, it's coming, folks, it's coming, folks. And I always thought, and I swear to you, I always thought that it would be stopped before it got to a critical level. That it would be stopped before we fell into this bottomless pit of tyranny and fascism And it didn't stop. And here we are on the edge of the abyss. What's the expression? Be careful not to stare into the abyss too long, because the abyss then begins to stare into you. But here we are. What are we going to do? Well, everybody has to make that decision. I pretty much know what my plan of action is. Yeah. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcasts. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast, or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.